Do you want free exalted orbs, divine orbs, uniques, or more? I'm going to be giving all these things away as a thank you for when I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. All you need to do to be included in the giveaway is be subscribed and comment down on the pinned comment and leave your in-game name. I'll be doing the giveaway live on my Twitch at FGCorbin21, and with that, let's get into the video. So you just got done beating Doriani in Act 3 Cruel, and you get teleported to this weird area, and you see this big giant device in the middle, and you think to yourself, what the hell am I supposed to do with this thing? What are all these maps in my inventory? There's another skill tree? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not all that complicated. So this is a real quick and simple guide that I want to make so I can buy myself over while I'm leveling up my ranger. I want to be able to give you guys some content while I'm doing that. I'm going for a poison build. I'll have that out here soon, hopefully. This isn't like a real complicated or intricate guide. This is just for more or less beginner players and to buy me over while I do that. So I'm also going to link a Reddit post that breaks this down in nice detail. I want to be able to provide this for you guys as well if you'd rather not listen to me. The map device is used to navigate the endgame of POE2, and you all start out in this middle area right here. You're going to be moving out of these little nodes towards these towers. These towers are going to help you clear this fog that's blocking your vision. You pillage them, they reveal more area, and you can move on from there. Something to note about the towers is that you're able to put these tablets inside of them that change the prefixes of your area. These tablets can either add breaches, irradiation, or mirrors of delirium to your maps. So something to note about maps is that if you die in them, you're going to lose 15% of your XP. We don't want to do this, of course, because we want to be able to level up. And if you struggle and you're dying a lot, you may not be able to level up to help you get more skill points to make your build stronger. So we want to do that as little as possible. Other things to note of is that you have a couple of these portals here. You can use all of them to go in and out. So if you, let's say you're in map and you're fighting monsters and you're healing a lot and you run out of flask, you can then portal out and come back and use your well to refill your flask and then go back in. I think you're only allowed to use as many of these portals as you have. Once you run out, it may close the map. I haven't run out before, so I can't tell you if they do or not. Just be aware of that. So as you're moving up into higher tier maps, you want to make sure that you're capping out your resistances. Whenever you get to tier 6 and then again at tier 11, it's going to increase the penalty that is put onto your resistances. So make sure that you're capping them out at 75 and paying attention whenever those penalties are increased. Make sure you're also building into some form of defense, whether it be energy shield, evasion, armor, or block. You can also do a hybrid of these. Make sure you're getting your chaos resistance up. If you can do a build with like chaos inoculation that makes you immune to chaos damage, that's huge for your survivability. And I would recommend trying to find a nice build on YouTube that gives you good DPS and also good survivability, as it's crucial to move up in the tiers of maps if you want better drops, more XP, and to fill out your build more. So now you're wondering, what are these things being added to my map? You have map bosses, which are bosses being added to the map that you can fight. You have irradiated, which is going to be increasing the level of the map and all the monsters in said map. You have breach, which is a mini event that's going to be spawning a ton of enemies that you can kill. You have delirium, which is also going to be spawning enemies that you can kill. You have expedition, wherever you blow up the ground for some loot and also kill some enemies. You have ritual, which is like the ritual circles from the campaign. And you have corruption, which is going to be increasing the level of your map and letting monsters that you kill group up into bigger monsters if you kill enough around that area. Other things to take note of are unique maps, hideouts, and wandering traders. Unique maps are just as they sound. Hideouts are areas that you can unlock to customize. And wandering trader is a vendor that can give you a free unique of your choice. So the goal of this endgame is to work your way all the way up from tier 1 to tier 15 maps. And as you do this, you're going to be doing these events, getting special drops, and using this to craft certain items. So you just did 10 tier 1 maps and you talked to Doriani, you completed your quest, and he gave you Atlas skill tree points. You can access those by going here and clicking here. So this additional skill tree is going to allow you to modify some of the things that happen in your maps and some of the events in the maps. So for now, we won't worry about the ones on the outside, but the ones on the inside right here, you need to go for ones such as increased quantity or chance to be a tier higher as soon as possible. As you're mapping, you're going to want to get those higher tier maps as much as possible. You may struggle to get some. We want to try to prevent you from having to buy these off the market or doing lower tier maps when you want to be doing higher tier maps. So go for this as soon as possible. If your build is nice and you want to get some more XP or drops, you can immediately shoot for nodes like Twin Threats, which is going to duplicate your rare monster. This will allow you to get an extra kill to maybe get some better drops, more XP. or you could go for Deadly Evolution down here, which is going to add modifiers to your rare and unique monsters. This will make them much more difficult, but the trade-off is that the more the modifiers on an enemy, you're going to have better drops from that enemy. So this is a big risk return skill. Another notable node that I think is nice to take early on is local knowledge, as this is going to increase your general drops across the board in different biomes. And this is kind of all just to my preference. I'm sure there's maybe a more efficient way to do this, but this is just what I did as I went along, and I found it to be quite helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and break down the Waystones. Waystones are dictated by their tier 1 to tier 16. And as you go up in tier, you go up in difficulty. So Waystones could have modifiers on them that will drastically change how the map plays. You're going to notice that there's Waystone drop chance and different modifiers on your Waystones. So the higher the Waystone drop chance, the higher the chance of you getting more Waystones in your map as you're killing enemies. And you can see that I have modifiers on here that change how the map plays. So I have increased number of monster packs, and I have players have 60% less recovery rate of life and energy shield. So the more negative modifiers that you have on your map, the more increased chance of Waystone drops you're going to have. So you can actually repurpose your old maps. Let's say you've moved on to tier 3 now, and you have some tier 1s and 2s left over. You can then take those old ones and use your reforging bench to convert them into a higher tier. So I have some tier 11s right here. I can just throw 3 of the same type in here, hit reforge, and now it's a tier 12. So that's a good way to repurpose your old maps. If you are out of tier 1 or 2 maps or whatever, you should be able to come to Doriani, and he will sell you an infinite number of tier 1 maps and a limited number of these tier maps. So here's some good modifiers you want to look out for. So we have increased rarity and increased quantity. This is going to give you more drops and drops of higher tier. You have freebies like this where its monsters have 25% chance to steal power, frenzy, and endurance charges. If you're not using any of these with your build, this is just a free one on your map. If you have a solid build and you're looking to get XP and better drops fast, you could get ones that have increased magic monsters or increased rare monsters. And then you have ones like this where you have increased gold, you have increased chest, you have increased experience gain. This is nice for farming specific things like XP, loot, or such things. So ones that I don't like are more monster life. If you're new to mapping and you don't really have a solid build going so far, you could struggle to kill these enemies that are almost double HP. Monsters having increased crit hit chance, you could accidentally get one shot by this. Areas have patching of burning, chilled, or shot ground. The burning ground is going to melt you. The chilled ground is going to slow you down and be really annoying. And the shot ground is going to increase the damage that you take by 20%. Players are cursed with Ineffable, or players are cursed with Temporal Chains. Ineffable is going to be lowering your damage, and Temporal Chains is going to be slowing you down. They're really annoying to deal with whenever you're mapping. So you may stumble across the hideout icon as you're going along, and all that this is you go into the map, you clear it out, and it'll say you have unlocked this type of hideout, and I'll go ahead and show you how to switch to your hideout and how to swap what type of hideout you have. So you cleared a hideout on your map. You can now come back to your waypoint, and you'll see right here, you can click to travel to your hideout. When you travel to your hideout, you can come over here to Alva, and Alva can let you change what type of hideout you have. If you have cleared this type of hideout before, you can change it to that one. You can pick by whatever one you prefer. I have not done Canal, so I don't have it unlocked. If you have bought a higher edition of the game, you can have access to other types of hideouts. I don't know if you get these automatically or if you have to have cleared a hideout first to use it, but we'll see. Other things to note in your hideout is that you have access to all these vendors, your salvage bench, your reforging bench, your stash, your guild stash, and other things like that. And you can actually reorganize and redecorate your hideout in different ways. I haven't toyed around with this too much. All that I really did was move my bench and my stash and stuff right here. That way, whenever I finish a map, I can just come straight down and have access to all of it right here. So I've located the breach, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of what happens whenever you mess with it. So as you get around tier 10, or maybe it's around tier 12 maps, you'll notice that these Breach Lord hands and Collapsed hands in general, and even some of the enemies are going to drop these splinters. These Breach Splinters are used to craft a key to fight a special boss. Don't worry about it for now. I'll save that for a more advanced video. For now, we'll just worry about killing these things and surviving them. I've picked a map that has the delirium event, and as you spawn in, you're going to notice this big looking mirror thing right here. And if you walk up to it, it's going to spawn some monsters that are going to chase you. And as you walk around the map, you're going to notice there's a fog, and that there's going to be more similar structures like this that spawn more enemies. As you kill enemies, you're going to notice that right around right here, there'll be an icon that's filling up, and there's going to be a number beside it. The more monsters that you kill, the more drops of what's called distilled emotions at the end there will be. The distilled emotions are used for anointing your amulet, so we'll worry about that for later, but the main thing of this event is killing as many monsters as you can before the fog goes away and not dying. So I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see there's a whole bunch of enemies and there's this kind of fog around the area. And you can see that this bar down here is filling up as I'm killing enemies. So I've stumbled across this little like weird looking structure thing right here. If you walk up to it, it's going to spawn some more. Same thing with this right here. This is going to help you get some more enemies that you can kill to increase the amount that you're getting. So the fog faded, the event ended. You can get a timer up here whenever it's about to end, and it dropped these little items on the ground. You can pick them up. Like I said, these are used for doing the anointment on your amulets eventually. For now, we'll just save that for a later video. Okay, so now I've stumbled across the next one. It's Expedition, and you're going to see a cool looking NPC like this, and you're going to notice that you have these explosives right here. What you're going to be doing is finding little things like this, and these are modifiers to these monsters that are going to spawn. You can place these, which can only be placed a certain distance away at a time, so let's just put one there. Let's just put one there. Let's just put one there. Be aware of which ones you're picking. They can make the monsters that you're going to fight much more difficult, but I'm not going to worry about it too much for now. I'm just going to place them just to show you. So we placed all 5, and we can now detonate it. As we detonate it, it's going to spawn some monsters. We're going to kill these monsters. All right, so we've killed all the monsters. Now that you can see that we have some different looking... So we've killed all the monsters, and you can see that we have some currency on the ground. Just pick these up for now. We'll save these for later. And you can see that we have these chests. So we can open up these chests for some loot and some more currencies. So what's important is the modifiers that you pick are going to give you bonuses and kind of negative afflictions. So you're going to be boosting either your drops of the currency or the rarity or the pack size or number of certain things. But of course, there's going to be negative things that impact you that make it harder to kill these monsters. So pick things that isn't going to completely brick what you're doing and shoot for ones that may give you some better drops. So corruption is really simple. It is just +1 to monster level in the area, and as you kill monsters, you're going to be noticing on the ground there's going to be red globules that spawn, and if enough of them spawn together, it'll merge together to create a bigger, stronger monster. This is really simple, so I'm not going to go in and show you in the map. Irradiated is also really simple. It is just +1 to monster level, nothing else. Map boss is exactly as it sounds. As you're clearing the area, there's going to be a boss on the map that you have to defeat to clear the map. It's pretty simple. You just kill the boss and kill all the rare enemies in the map, and that clears the map. So that's going to be it for the video for me. If you could, leave some tips in the comment section if I forgot anything, and I really appreciate you guys giving me the support that you have here on YouTube and on Twitch. I've had a blast over there streaming with you guys. A lot of you guys just showed up and hung out with me, and it's overall been a great time, and I'm going to try to keep doing content like this. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.